we go.
Anyone who has enjoyed a story filled with history will surely enjoy Outlander. History, romance, drama, wars, adventure, you name it. This series has it all packed up in 6 seasons. We get to see the finished product, but I bet some of us core fans wonder what exactly happens behind the scenes of this awesome show's creation. The sci-fi and mystical elements of the show might not be real, but still the historical settings of Scotland, France, England, Jamaica, and colonial America had to be imitated as truthfully as possible. There are also plenty of weird obstacles, unexpected casting assessments, and production decisions that are worth revealing. Today, we're going to show up behind the scenes of Outlander and everything you need to know. Before we get into it, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications to this channel. First, did you know that Outlander was almost shot outside of Scotland? One of the exciting things about Outlander is the scenery and the location where it's shot. Most movies are filmed in locations different from where they're set. However, much of the magic of Outlander comes from the focus on Scotland and all its natural glory. That's pretty hard to replicate in other parts of the world, even though it would have been doable. Outlander is filmed in Scotland, primarily at the Ward Park Studios in Cumbernauld near Glasgow. Over the years, the show has built an impressive base with huge sets and a vast warehouse for costumes and props. The net worth, Stars, originally wanted to film in either New Zealand or Eastern Europe. These sound a bit out there, but they do have the picturesque characteristics of Scotland. It's difficult to say if this would have offended hardcore fans though, but thankfully in the end, producers managed to convince the network that Scotland would be the best and most authentic choice. Executive producer Matthew B. Roberts said in an interview, "I think Scotland is just ideal for it. In a way, we have this freedom in Scotland. We have this base. We can adapt a lot more because we have the studios here already. We have a crew that knows us and we know each other." Up next, Claire's role was hardest to cast. The show is hard to imagine without Katrina Balfe and Sam Hewitt in the leading roles of Claire Fraser and Sam Hewitt thanks to their electric chemistry. However, it could have been all very different had a Hollywood star landed the role as rumors suggested. At the outset, I told everyone that we would find Claire first and then Jamie would be the last one cast. Outlander showrunner Ronald D. Moore said. In reality, the opposite was true. Hewitt was the first person cast, whereas it took a long time to find the right Claire. She had to be smart, she had to have a strength of character, and really, she had to be someone that you could watch and think on camera. But then suddenly Katrina's tape came in and we had that light bulb moment. Next up, did you know that the catchy opening credits tune is a reimagining of a traditional Scottish song? You may or may not recognize the melody of Outlander's intro music. The sweet melancholic tune is the perfect fit for the show. It's derived from the Sky Boat song, a Scottish folk song written by Prince Charles's escape after his defeat at the Battle of Culloden. This would be appropriate since we see this very battle on the show. Outlander composer Bear McCreary tweeted the lyrics of the song, most importantly changing the word lad to lass to echo Claire's time-traveling adventures. Some may find it unnecessary to change a song, but it's appropriate considering how we see the events unfold through Claire's eyes. The tune is also another beautiful piece of Scottish culture the show does well to represent. Up next, the battle scenes are so intense to film that it takes some of the cast members half a day to get over the stress. In fact, Tobias Menzies slept for 12 hours after his first day filming the Battle of Culloden sequence. Director Brendan Motter told Vulture that while both Menzies and Hewitt had stunt doubles for the physically demanding sequence, neither used them much. We had people for safety just in case. But the nature of the work is that you want the actors to do as much as they possibly can, and because the nature of their fight is personal, the camera was up close all the time. There wasn't the opportunity to get doubles in, nor did the actors really want them. After Tobias' first day, he slept 12 hours or something because of the toll it took on his body, but he's very tough. Next up is another interesting fact. Outlander was originally inspired by Doctor Who. Gabaldon, who wrote the book, has revealed that she got the initial idea for her first Outlander story while watching an old episode of the long-running British time-traveling series Doctor Who. I was thinking a historic novel might be the easiest kind of book to write for practice when I happened to see a really old Doctor Who rerun. Gabaldon told Scotland Now, adding that the character of the Doctor's companion, Jamie McCrimmon, played by Fraser Hines, inspired her in particular. Jamie struck me with his attitude and male gallantry, and I thought the kilt was rather fetching. Hines himself even had a cameo in season 1, playing Sir Fletcher Gordon. Next up, Hewitt is a natural blonde, and it takes a lot to turn his hair that red. In fact, it took 7 tries to dye his hair to turn the perfect red. It's reassuring that Hewitt is in fact a Scot, but that doesn't mean he was born with naturally red hair. He had to dye his pale brown locks before before filming began to match Jamie's distinctive redhead look. Unfortunately, it was not as easy as it sounds. Hairdressers dyed Hewen's hair several times until producers were satisfied with the exact shade of a coppery red. It's fair for them to be picky, considering that it's crucial for the color to appear natural. Still, no one envied Hewen for the 27 hours he spent in a salon chair, but at least the final result suits him incredibly well. When all is said and done, he looks like he should have been a redhead all along, actually. Up next, Sam may be a great actor, but that isn't only his amazing trait. He has been commended for his patience. According to makeup artist Wendy Kemp Forbes, he's a lovely man, but none of them are that patient in the chair. They don't want to be in any longer than necessary. Jamie's scars are kept to keep part of the plot, so the show had no choice but to keep them in. It shows Jamie's strength of character that he has able to withstand being whipped many times. Sam Hewen probably wasn't so happy about that though, since it means he has to spend over 3 hours in the makeup chair. To be more precise, it's actually a stool in order to allow the makeup team to work on his back. The reason it takes so long is because the scars are actually 2 silicone pieces applied to Hewen's back. This gives them more of a realistic look than if they were just painted on his skin. It takes an average of 2 hours and 30 minutes to apply his makeup and prosthetics. Next up, some of the props used in the show were reused. Fans of the Starz TV series Black Sails may recognize 2 of the huge 18th century ships used in Outlander's 3rd season. The Porpoise and the Bruja specifically were previously seen on its sister Starz drama Black Sails. When asked, executive producer Matthew B. Roberts explained why reusing the existing sets made sense. He said it would have taken us 5 years, 5 seasons to build all of this. Up next, the book's author, Diana Gabaldon, cameoed in the show. The author got the chance to play a role in the series she made possible, but funnily enough, it was not one of her own characters. The part was created especially for her so that she was able to make an appearance. She briefly plays Merchant's wife, Iona McTavish, in order to say a few lines and experience the show's production more fully. Though her cameo only lasts a few seconds, it's impressive that Gabaldon was able to do a pretty accurate Scottish accent. She is from the States after all, and the Scottish inflection has to be one of the thickest in the English language. It's also a nice opportunity to wear a beautiful and elaborate 18th century dress. Good job, Diana. Next up, the hair and makeup department was certainly not slacking. The team said that they have never used 300 wigs on any other show, and they were all very expensive. The sheer number of characters on Outlander makes this unsurprising, combined with the fact that fancy 18th century hairstyles are far more intricate to recreate. When Jamie and Claire go to Paris, we're treated to luxurious clothing and wigs to match. Even while we're still in Scotland, hair and makeup is still a demanding task. And although the protagonists have natural hair, let's not forget that the entire English army wears wigs to begin with. It's clear there is no room for budget cuts in this department. Lastly, Gabaldon is a major influence on every aspect of the show. Though the series has made several deviations from Gabaldon's series, the author does get to personally consult on all major decisions. We email her all the time, executive producer Meryl Davis told Parade. She sees all the scripts, she sees dailies, and anytime we do something crazy or we want to kind of go off the reservation a little, we always consult her first. She doesn't always like it. For the most part though, we always try to please her. Thanks for the time, Outlander fans. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to stick around for more exciting content on this channel.